Welcome back to another video on the Full-Time Purpose YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be sharing something with you that is something that everyone will go through at a certain level through the evolution of making videos online, of putting yourself out there, and maybe you've already experienced a little bit of this already. Now, anytime you're putting yourself out there, here's the thing. When you put yourself out there, you're going to find a lot of people that love what you do. You're going to find people that are absolutely just excited and passionate about consuming your content. But at the other side of that, there will always be these people that we call haters. This is what the way that we call it now, haters. But people that criticize what you do, or people that have something negative to say about something that you're doing. Now, I want to share this because sometimes this can hold people back. This can block people from really going forward and putting out the message they want. And the way the brain works, for some reason, it's a lot easier sometimes, especially with what Victor and I do, not to brag or anything, but we get a lot of positive reinforcement. We get thousands and thousands of comments every week of people saying how much they love what we do. But sometimes the brain will look at the one comment that somebody says that says something negative, and in a way, sometimes that will get to us, that, you know, each of us individually, but we'll look at that and be like, and then it'll make us feel a certain way. But it's like, it's a funny idea though, because there's so many other comments that we could focus on, but the brain always focuses on the one thing that is a negative. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today are 3 ways of looking at this in a completely new way so that you don't let a quote-unquote hater or somebody that has negative criticism actually hold you back. Now, this has to do with the fundamental why of why you create content in the beginning anyways. Like, this is like the fundamental understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. If you're doing what you're doing because the only thing that you want from it is validation, then it's going to be something that you feel like you're almost at the whim of everyone else. The key is to have a strong why. Why are you doing what you do? Victor and I, each of us independently and even us together when we're doing and we're helping people go full-time with their passion, we have a strong why. We're doing it because we believe it will help change the world in some way. So we have a strong why. So when something little like that is like one person that has something negative to say comes at me or him or whatever, we are able to almost bounce it off because we have a stronger why. The why, think of that as the gravity that allows you to go forth knowing that there's a greater purpose to it. Always connect yourself to a greater purpose, whether that's your life's purpose, whether that's adding value to other people, but that alone will make it so much easier. Now, the first thing I want to share with you, the first way to deal with a hater is to understand that anytime somebody hates on you, what they are doing is they are projecting something from themselves onto you. So many times it has almost nothing, if not very little, to do with the person that person is talking bad about. It has more to do with them and where they feel in relation to whatever you are putting out. So if somebody is reaching out to you, in a way, have compassion for them. Because in order for somebody to put out something negative, they have to already be feeling negative in order to do so. Most likely, someone that criticizes someone else also criticizes themselves at a very deep level. So this is a game changer when you understand this, because then you can have more compassion for them. Anytime somebody reaches out to me and they're spewing some of their negativity and they're telling me what they don't like about me or whatever it is, I'm able to observe it and see and send them love. As corny as that sounds, that's what I do. I kind of send it just energetically because I realize that they most likely feel the same way about themselves. So it's about having that understanding that it has nothing to do with you. And let me give you an example I've given in my YouTube videos before on my own channel. That is like if somebody came up to you and told you, if someone came up to me right now, I was like, I hate your green shirt. It makes you look dumb. Now, when they say that to me, if I don't relate to the fact that they told me they hated my green shirt because I'm not wearing a green shirt, then it wouldn't affect me. The only time something affects us is if we agree to whatever they are saying. So if somebody responds in a comment to you and is like, you're weird, or you're this, or you're that, unless you agree to that reality, then you won't feel it. You only will feel it if you agree to it. So I could look at that person, it's like, you have an ugly green shirt. I'd be like, well, maybe you're not able to see the colors the right way or the way that I do, so I don't even agree that this is a green shirt. Plus, I don't think green's a bad color anyways. But other than that, I don't choose to relate to what you say. I'm not internalizing it. So in the same way, if someone is ever saying anything to you, you have a choice as to whether you internalize it or not. So that's the first thing you can do, because when you start to put at it from that perspective, you'll see that you immediately start to not really connect to what they're saying in the same type of way. And sometimes there may be a little bit of truth. Sometimes I get that on my channel. I put out daily YouTube videos. And with those daily videos, every now and then, I'll have someone on my channel that'll say something like, oh, you're always making videos on the law of attraction. You're always making videos on this. Why are you doing that? And they'll be like, oh, I should come up with some new ideas or stuff. And I've been making daily videos for almost 2 years straight, every single day, no matter what. So there's always going to be people. I always put in a different perspective. On one hand, I posted a video yesterday. Comments that were like, there were 2 or 3 comments that were like, I can't believe you put out daily videos. They're all so amazing. They're all so different. That was one comment. And then another comment was, you make the same videos over and over again, blah, blah, blah. And it was a negative comment. They were both on the same video. One was appreciating the daily videos, even though they're similar topics, but a new perspective on each topic. And the other comment was a negative comment on the same video. There's always going to be that vast array of people with their perspective. The key is to not internalize it. Now, maybe there's a little bit of truth in it. So, for example, part of it, I was like, man, I do kind of want to branch off into the more esoteric stuff. Maybe I will start making more esoteric videos. So, but I was able to use it in a positive way rather than letting it affect me negatively, in a negative type way. Now, the second way that you deal with negativity and people negatively criticizing you, this is the only way to really deal with it. And just trust me on this. The only way to deal with it is to completely ignore it. Now, what I mean by this is when somebody comments on your video, do not respond to it. Do not prove yourself. Do not try to change their perspective, because you're most likely not going to. Unless the caveat is, the only time I do respond, I normally don't at all anymore, just because I'm busy now. So it's like before I would go through and what I would do is actually say the nicest thing you could possibly say. Somebody be like, you're this, you're that, all this negative stuff. And be like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. However, this is the way I'm doing it. I'm hoping that people will, get this out of it. My intention is to help people. And then a lot of times that person would reply and be like, I'm sorry for being so mean. I was having a bad day or something like that. But I would almost give them more love back, because anytime someone's being mean to you, what they're saying is, please love me. Or they're saying, I need help. I need love. That's something we could start to become aware of. But the best thing to do, the easiest thing to do, is to completely ignore it, because most likely 90% of the time, it's not like you're going to change their whole perspective. You could be real nice, and sometimes that can work, but in general, let them be, because we're not going to change every single person that comments on our stuff. Let them be. Just ignore them. I remember me and Victor talk about this, because sometimes somebody will say something that's very mean, and we'll get on there and start replying to this long paragraph. I've caught myself like 10 times in the past, print out this long paragraph of trying to love them and trying to do all this stuff and try to be nice, and then I go and delete the whole thing, because it's a waste of time, and that triggered response is not the answer. The real answer is to completely ignore it. Whatever you feed, they will continue to if you respond at all, you're giving them a reaction. They then see that if they trigger you, they can continue to get a reaction. So sometimes they may do it over and over and over again. So it's about being aware of that. And then simply deciding that is what's more important, is your own state of being. It's how you feel about the process. Now, the third thing to know with haters is that it's a good sign. What meaning do you give the haters, right? Here's the thing. I remember when Victor and I first met up, we first started talking about 2 years ago, before we became BFFs and all that good stuff. We talked to each other on the phone, we were giving each other advice. He's like, how do you deal with criticism and stuff like that? And what I told him was a little bit out of the norm, of probably what most people would say. I said, bro, criticism is a good sign. Because this is the thing, on my YouTube channel, before I started growing, I was getting almost no negative criticism. Only positive criticism, or only positive comments. The moment I started to get negative criticism, I started to become aware of, hey, I'm growing. The bigger a YouTube video goes viral, the more negativity generally will be on the video, because then YouTube has shot out the video to more and more people. So I gave it a positive meaning. I said, there's all these people that would have never even known who I am, never even heard my message, maybe even never would have gotten their life, influenced by my teachings unless they came in through this video. This is a good thing. This video, even the negative comments, it's a good thing. I gave it a positive meaning. Give the negativity a positive meaning because it means that people are seeing you that normally wouldn't have seen you. So do you see, when you start to see it from that point of view, it doesn't affect you negatively anymore. So he's like, whoa. I remember I told Victor that, and he really started to absorb. He's like, wow, you're right. And then from that moment on, he didn't let the things get to him as much because he reframed the meaning of it. He's like, yes, maybe I'm getting more negative criticism, but these videos are reaching more people. Of course, the people that watch our channels, our fans, are gonna, or the people that watch our videos are gonna love what we do, probably almost no matter what. Even if we put out a crappy video, a lot of times they're still gonna love what we do. But the people that aren't fans to begin with and maybe will never like us are always gonna have something negative to say, but they wouldn't have even seen our video. For every negative person that comments, there's gonna be a lot of positive people that wouldn't have seen our video that then convert into people that want to watch our channel all the time. So remember that. Anytime the negative comments come, it's a sign that you are getting your message out there. So remember that. This makes it all so much easier. Give a couple little tips also. When it comes to Facebook, and I know sometimes people say when I'm sharing my content on Facebook or Instagram, I'm afraid to put it out. Understand that with time, the more you do it, the easier it gets. That's really the simplest as it gets, because even I was the same way. Even now, I'm starting to put more esoteric stuff on my Instagram channel, and it's the dumbest idea because it's like I have 200 people that follow me that were like people that I follow back that were my friends and stuff that are people from high school and stuff like that. And I have 30-something thousand people that follow me from YouTube that I know love what I have to say or are into the esoteric stuff. But sometimes when I'm creating content, I'm thinking, what are these couple friends from high school that probably think what I do is weird? What are they going to think? But what I'm learning to do is to let go more and more and to put it out there more, because I'm not creating content for the 20, the 200 people that I knew in high school or whatever. I'm creating content for the people that follow me, that love what I do, that want I can add value to. So focus on them. Focus on the positivity. Know that your message has a purpose. Give yourself a bigger why. That why will carry you through what you do, and know that anything else is a positive sign. The best way to react to any hater is to completely ignore them, or the little caveat with a little bit of love. You speak a little bit of love in there. But other than that, just know that you have more gravity with what you do. You don't have to agree to what they say, and you have value for simply being you. So if you want help with this whole process of understanding how to go full-time with doing what you love, Victor and I have created a completely free training that will show you exactly how to go full-time doing what you love. It'll show you how to grow on YouTube, how to convert and create something, a product that brings you in consistent income, how to do all of this starting from zero. You don't need a huge audience to do this. It's going to be completely free training. It's in the top of the description box below. You can sign up for that. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.